Welcome back to Prudence Coaching English class. Hello students, here we provide ICSE, CBSE and WBBSE solutions. Today we are going to discuss the most important question answer for ICSE 21 from Act 1 Scene 3 of Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Students, if you follow this video, then your 16 marks is guaranteed from English literature. So don't skip anything, otherwise you may miss the valuable updates. With the important question answer, today we are going to discuss the toppers method of writing answers. Yes students, here we'll provide you the best method of writing answers in ICSE English literature. We will discuss with the accurate answer sheet that will get in your examination hall. We will give you the absolute correct answer of each of these questions, which will help you to get the maximum marks in your exam. So let's start the suggestion for Merchant of Venice from Act 1 Scene 3 ICSE 2021. Your 16 marks is now in your pocket. So let's start this. In your examination hall, before the beginning of your exam, before 15 minutes, you will get your question paper at your hand. This 15 minutes is very much important for you because in this 15 minutes, you have to make a smart choice of your questions that you are going to attempt for your examination English paper 2. Here you have to attempt 5 questions in all from the 3 textbooks, and this section is very much important. So here we'll discuss this with this one. Students, we have made this for you so that you understand it better. So in this question there are 3 sections. Section A is drama. There are 2 dramas, The Merchant of Venice and The Mousetrap. In section B, this is the poetry section. Here the book is a collection of poems. And next there is section C, that is a collection of short stories, Animal Farm and The Call of the Wild. These 3 types of books are there. So according to your question, you have to write 5 questions in all. You can see here, check here, you must attempt at least one question from each of the sections, section A, B and C, and not more than 2 other questions from the same books you have already compulsorily chosen. You have to write total 5 questions in all from the 3 textbooks. Now we will help you to understand it best. Students, you have to write total 5 questions. So 16 into 5 equal to 80 marks. Now from section A, drama, you can choose a single question, and from section B, poetry, you can choose 2 questions, and from section C, prose, you can choose 2 questions as well. So in this way you can attempt 5 questions. I hope students you have understood the instruction pretty well. If you have any problem, any doubts regarding how to choose your questions in English literature, then you can comment and we will definitely help you instantly. Now here this is the first section, section A, drama. Answer one or more questions from only one of the following plays: The Merchant of Venice or The Mousetrap. The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. Now we'll start the questions. So in the beginning of your questions you will get a explanation is given. So Shylock, how like a funny publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he laid out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. It means, students, here Shylock is explaining his grudge against Antonio and saying that he looks like a servile tax collector. I hate him because he is a Christian, and even more because he lends money foolishly without any interest, and which brings down the rate of interest for the business purpose in Venice. Next, Shylock also says, if I can catch him once upon the heap, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails even there where merchants most do congregate. Congregate means gather on me by bargains and my well-owned thrift. which he calls interest, cursed me, my tribe, if I forgive him. It means, student, if I can catch him once at his disadvantage, I shall avail of the opportunity of fulfilling my revenge and satisfy my old enmity towards him. This man hates our race and he speaks abusively in the business place where merchants assemble. He often belittles me and my bargains and my hard earned profit, which he refers to as interest. May my race be cursed if I ever spare him. So this is the explanation of this entire extract. Now we will discuss the questions which are most important for your exams. We have formulated these questions in the form you will get in your examination hall. So questions are followed by number 1. And students, you should know that each of these 5 questions will be divided into the subsections. Yes students, each of these questions will be divided into 5 parts. So while you will be writing the answer, you have to maintain a special method which I are going to discuss with this important question answer. So this is the first question: what is meant by a fawning publican? Give 3 reasons why Shylock hates Antonio. So this is the first part of the question, and you can see the question is divided into 2 parts, and for these 2 questions you will get 3 marks. Next, the second question, the second part of the question: what do you mean by lent out money gratis and rate of usance? Here it is having 3 marks. Next, there is number third question: why does Shylock want to catch him upon the head? This is the third part of the question. It has 3 marks. Number 4, what old grudge does Shylock have against Antonio? It has 4 marks. The fifth part and the last part of the question is: how does Shylock plan to get money immediately? Okay. Next, there is: what light does the extract throw on Shylock's character? So for these 2 questions you will get 3 marks, students. So in total there is 16 marks. So I hope students you have understood that each of the question will be divided into 5 parts. This is the first question and it is divided into 5 parts, and each of these parts having its subparts as well. So let's start how to write the answers now. Now our first question was that you can see the first question. After pausing the video, this is the first question: what is meant by a fawning publican, and give 3 reasons why Shylock hates Antonio. So let's discuss this. Now we are going to discuss the actual method of writing answers in English literature. If you follow this method, then surely you will get 100% marks. So follow this method actually. Now students, you can see there are green lines. Yes students, in your examination hall you will get the same kind of answer sheet. Here in the beginning of the answer sheet you will write section A, drama. Next you will write the Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare, and next you will write question 1, and then you will draw this line, this black line, using your pencil or pen. Students, you should know that if you write black ink for writing your answer, it would be giving a best impression to your answers. And you will write the question number outside this margin, and within the margin you will write the sub part of the question, that is number, as we have written here. So you will write the answer in this way. So the first question, here is the answer. Here, a fawning publican means a groveling tax collector who is very humble and servile in his dealings with his clients. Now, the second part of the question will start our answer in the para wise, so that the examiner can understand it better that this is the second part of the question. The 3 reasons for Shylock's hatred towards Antonio are following. A. So the first reason is Antonio lends out money to the people without charging any interest, which spoils Shylock's business. Second reason, Antonio brings down the rate of interest, and as a result Shylock has to suffer lots of losses in his business. The third reason is that Antonio was a Christian and Shylock was a Jew. There was a racial clash in between these 2 communities, which intensified Shylock's enmity with Antonio. Now the second part of this question, number 2. So here you can see we have written the question number, main question number, outside the margin, and within this margin we have written the sub part. This is very much important, students, and here you are going to leave a space of near about 5 centimeter distance, or near about 5 centimeter margin for your exam. So now the second answer. In the given extract, lent out money gratis means lent out money free of interest. This is said by Shylock about Antonio, that he lends money to people in Venice free of interest. Now the second part of the question is, what is the meaning of rate of usance? So the phrase the rate of usance refers to the rate of interest in the financial deal. Shylock asserts that Antonio rather foolishly lends out money without any interest, which brings down the rate of interest in the dealings in Venice. So you can see, students, after each of these answer, we are leaving a single line gap. This is very much important because it will help the examiner to get the separation in between the two separate answers. So leave a single line gap within two answers so that it can separate your answers from the previous one. Now the third answer. Shylock wishes to catch him upon the hip in order to appease his long-lived hatred towards Antonio. If Shylock can once catch him at a disadvantage, he will then avail of the opportunity to retaliate all the wrongdoings of Antonio to teach him a good lesson once for all. Now the fourth question, you can see we have left a single line gap so that it makes a good impression for our answer as well. So this is the fourth part. You can see, don't ever miss the question number. This is very much important. If you miss the question number, then you may miss your number as well, that means your score as well. Then the fourth question, the answer. Shylock bears a long-standing grudge against Antonio because Antonio has always despised Shylock as he is a Jew and looked upon the holy Jewish race with contempt. He also hates Shylock for lending out money to the needy, charging an interest. Antonio abuses Shylock and his bargains, even spat on him, kicked him, and called a cutthroat dog at the Venetian Stock Exchange in front of other traders. For all these very reasons, Shylock has a grudge against Antonio. This is the 4 marks answer, so it is generally larger than the others. Now, the fifth part of the question. Shylock plans to get money immediately from a wealthy fellow Jew, Tubal. Now, the next part of the question, you can see we are writing or maintaining a para for writing each of these separate answer. The given extract shows that Shylock wants to execute the bond as soon as possible so that he can take his revenge on Antonio. It also shows that Shylock is shrewd by nature, far-sighted and intelligent too, who will wait patiently for an opportunity to take revenge. Now students, you can see, after that you can choose any other question from section A, or you can simply move to section B, that is poetry section. Here this type of instruction will be given: answer one or more question from this section, and this is the poetry section, a collection of poems, and your question will start from question 7 as per the previous question previous year. So for the section B, your question will be starting from section 7. So while you will be writing this answer, you will write section B, poetry, a collection of poems, then you will leave a single line gap, then you will write question number 7. If you are attending the question number 7, then you will write question number 7, and don't forget to mention this sub part. Now you will write your answer like this. Next you will leave a single line gap, you will write the second part. Next you will leave another single line gap, you will write the third part of the question, and in the same way you will write part 4 and part 5 as well. Students, you can see we have made another line. Okay, you can sketch another line after the front margin, and you can separate these parts of the question from the other part of your answer so that the examiner can get a brief view of your question number very clearly. If you maintain this pattern, students, you are going to get surely 100%. Now section C, prose. Here there are a collection of short stories: Animal Farm, The Call of the Duty, and the first questions will be starting for a collection of short stories, and it will start from question number 10 as per the previous year question. So students, I hope that you have understood the question pattern and how to write your answers like this. And here you will write section C, prose, a collection of poems, then you will leave single line gap, and using this two margins, this subpart and the question number. I hope you can write your answer now pretty better. Now you will write in this method. If you follow this method, then surely you will get 100% marks. And after writing your answer, when your last answer will end, you will leave 2 line gap, and after leaving 2 lines you will start another question. And one necessary thing is that while you are attempting the questions, students, you must have to write all the questions together for any single question. Suppose you are writing question number 11, then all the sub parts 1 to 5 will have to be written in a single place. Okay students, if you jumble these things, then surely your marks will be deducted. So be careful about such things. And students, if you find this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe channel, like our content, because your little motivation will help us to provide you more helpful contents. And here are the questions. Now if you have memorized these questions, you can just look at these questions and can write your answers of your own. Here are the questions. Number 1, what is meant by a fawning publican? Give 3 reasons why Shylock hates Antonio. Okay, what do you mean by lent out gratis and rate of usance? Next, number 3rd questions. We have set this question for your revision, students, so you can look at the screen and thought about the answer of yourself. Why does Shylock want to catch him upon the hip? Okay, now the 4th question. What old grudge does Shylock have against Antonio? It has 4 marks. And the 5th and the last part of the question. How does Shylock plan to get the money immediately? What light does this extract throw on Shylock's character? It has 3 marks. So here 16 marks completed. I hope you have understood everything. And our last request, students, don't forget to subscribe channel, like our content. Thanks for watching, students. Have a nice day. Goodbye.